Now, we're done configuring your OSP at version 3. Let's try to answer PPP multilink with GRE tunnel. So, first things first, let me give you a checklist for multilink. You have to declare username which will be interchangeably used by both routers connected with two serial links. Second, indicate the encapsulation.
Just open it, question, and also the network topology. But since I have here all the commands I needed, so here it is, and I have here also the notepad for the configurations of each router that we have, and here it is, the topology. I have here the R2, R1, branch 1, branch 3, and branch 2, and I have here also the addresses labeled. So let's begin. So for question number 1, why is the branch 2 network 10.10.20/24 unable to communicate with the server farm 1 network 10.10.10/24 over the GRE tunnel? A. The GRE tunnel destination is not configured on the router 2. B. The GRE tunnel destination is not configured on the branch 2 router. 3. The static route points to the tunnel 0 interface that is misconfigured on the branch 2 router. Or D. The static route points to the tunnel 0 interface that is misconfigured on router 2. So, as you can see here, let's go with the branch 2 configuration in R2. But first, let's try and check the interfaces. So we'll use the command show IP interface brief, and here it is for the R2 interfaces. As you can see, I have here the tunnel 0 with the address 192.168.24.1, and it's up. Now let's go with branch 2, and here it is. I also have here the tunnel, which is .2, and it's also up. Now let's go and see the configuration. So here it is. This is for branch 2, and this is for R2. Now if you're gonna look, as I've told you earlier, the checklist for GRE is tunnel. Now as you can see here on the configuration, I have here, now as I've said earlier on the configuration, I have only 3 checklists for GRE. First is the tunnel source, second is tunnel destination, and third will be the routing. Now first one is you have to check if the source is configuredly right, and also the tunnel destination. And as you can see here on the 2 configuration of branch 2 and R2 routers, you can see that the addresses have interchangeably written. So the tunnel destination for branch 2 is the tunnel source for R2, and the tunnel source of branch 2 is the tunnel destination of R2. Now, since this one is correct, let's go with the routing. But as you can see here in the topology, only branch 2 should be going to R2. So if we're gonna check again branch 2 and R2, let's go with the routing here in branch 2, and there you have it. Here is the IP route. You have to declare the not directly connected network, and also the subnet mask and the next subtunnel. So the next subtunnel for branch 2 should be 24.1, as it is the tunnel IP address of the R2. But as you can see here, the label is 192.168.24.10. So we can conclude that the answer for number 1 is letter C. The static route points to the tunnel 0 interface that is misconfigured on the branch 2 router. So if I scroll down, you would see the answer and also the explanation for the question. Now let's proceed with question number 2. Why has the branch 3 router lost connectivity with R1? Use only show commands to troubleshoot because usage of the debug command is restricted on branch 3 and router and R1 routers. So is it A? A PPP chap hostname mismatch is noticed between branch 3 and R1. B. A PPP chap password mismatch is noticed between branch 3 and R1. C. PPP encapsulation is not configured on branch 3. Or D. The PPP chap hostname and PPP chap password commands are missing on the branch 3 router. So let's try and see the configuration on branch 3 and R1. Here is the branch 3 and also the R1. So here it is. Now, let's first try to see the username and password of branch 3 and also for R1. So as you can see here, the username is R1 and username here is branch 3, password 0, and the password for both routers is branch 3 underscore secret, and this one is branch 3 underscore secret with an exclamation point. And as you can see here, the next one would be the authentication and encapsulation for both routers. Group 1. And this is for branch 2. For the multilink. So as you can see here on branch 3, it has the declaration of the PPP authentication trap and also a host name and also a password. And as you can see here in R1, it should have the hostname of branch underscore 3, but the config on R1 is only branch 3, and so that one would be our first choice issue for this. Then second is to check with the bandwidth that is declared on the routers. It doesn't declare any bandwidth here. Let's check the other one. And this is for R2. This is for branch 2 configuration, so that's not correct. So we can conclude here that it didn't indicate any bandwidth. So if we're gonna look at the choices, the answer for this one would be letter A. A PPP chat hostname mismatch is noticed on branch 3 and R1. You cannot say that they don't match the password, because if you're gonna look at the configuration of branch 3 and R1, you'll notice that even though branch 3 have different host name used, still the password is branch 3 underscore secret with an exclamation point. Same with configuration of R1. So the username or the host name configuration for branch 3 is incorrect. So the right answer would be A. A PPP chat hostname mismatch is noticed between R3 and R1. And as I scroll down, you can see here the answer and also the explanation. Now let's proceed with branch number 3. Which statement about the router configuration is correct? PPP PAP is authentication configured between branch 2 and R1. B. Tunnel keep alides are not configured for the tunnel 0 interface on branch 2 and R2. C. The branch 2 LAN network 192.168.11.11/24 is not advertised into the AGRP network. And D. The branch 3 LAN network 192.168.10/24 is not advertised into the AGRP network. Or E. PPP chat is authentication configured between R1 and branch 1. Now, if we're gonna look at the statements, let's first check the first one. PPP PAP is authentication configured between branch 2 and R1. So let's try and check branch 2 and R1. PPP PAP. So let's look. And as you can see here on branch 2, if you're gonna use the command show run, and you will see here that only authentication it uses is PPP chat. So let's look at R1 also. And if you're gonna see the configuration, it uses also PPP chat. So that one is incorrect. Let's go with B. Tunnel keep alive are not configured for the tunnel 0 interface in R2. So in branch 2 and in R2, here it is. So the tunnel is not kept alive. So let's check with with the command show IP interface brief, with branch 2, and of course with R. With branch 2 and R2. So in branch 2 it says up up, and with R2 it says also, there you go, it's up up. So that statement is incorrect also. So let's go with C. The branch 2 LAN network 1 and 2 168.11.0 is not advertised into the AAGRP network. So let's go with branch 2 and check if the network 1 and 2 168.11 is advertised in the AAGRP network. And so as you can see here in the AAGRP configuration, there is the 11 network indoors, so that one is also incorrect. Now let's try and see the fourth one. Branch 3 LAN network 192.168.10/24 is not advertised into the AAGRP network. Let's go with branch 3. Then let's use the command show run again. Then if you see here on the AAGRP configuration, you'll see that only .16 network is advertised on the AAGRP. Now let's go on with the fifth before we proceed with the right answer. PPP CHAP is authentication configured between R1 and R1. So between, R1 and branch 1. So here it is. Let's look for the PPP CHAP authentication. PPP CHAP authentication. And as you can see here, there is no PPP CHAP authentication on branch 1. And we only see here only in R1. So the fourth one is incorrect. And the right answer for this one would be letter D. The branch 3 LAN network 1 into 168.10/24 is not advertised into the AAGRP network. If you're gonna view again with the branch 3, here it is. Only the network 1 into 168.16 is advertised in here. So we can conclude that the D is the right answer. I'll also have here the answer and the explanation. So the fourth one would be, why did branch 1 router lose one connectivity with R1 router? Is it A, the IP address is misconfigured on PPP multilink interface on the branch 1 router? B, PPP multilink group is misconfigured on branch 1 serial interfaces? C, the PPP multilink group is misconfigured on the R1 serial interfaces? Or D, the branch 1 serial interfaces are placed in a shutdown condition? So first, let's try and check the branch 1 and R1. And for the first choice, the IP address is misconfigured on PPP multilink interface on branch 1 router. Let's try and see all the choices. So A, the IP address is misconfigured on PPP multilink interface on branch 1 router. So by seeing this one, we could use the command show IP interface brief. And here is the output for branch 1. Let's go and look branch 1. And there you go. The interfaces are up, and also the multilink is up, and also I've configured the address. Next, the PPP multilink group is misconfigured on branch 1 serial interfaces. So let's see in branch 1. I'll just see that one. Okay, then there you go, multilink. Then as you can see, it is on the serial interfaces, and there you go. Next one is the PPP multilink group is misconfigured on R1 serial interfaces. So let's proceed with R1. And R1, and let's try to see. So it's in group 1 also. As you can see, it's in also group 1, and that's it. So they have the same. The PPP multilink group is configured on R1 serial interfaces. That's not it. Branch 1 serial interfaces are placed in the shutdown condition. So let's proceed with the branch 1, and let's see with the serial. So branch 1 again, and as you can see, all the interfaces that have addresses are in an up state condition. But if you try and look at the choices here,
you would notice that the answer is A. The IP address is misconfigured on PPP multilink interface on the branch 1 router. Now, as you can see here, if you're gonna compare with the branch 1 router and also the R1, it would lose its connectivity to 1 because as you can see here in R1, if you're gonna check, the multilink address is 14.1, and if you try to see the branch 1, it has a configuration of 41.2. So that one is a address mismatch. So that's why the connectivity for R1 has lost its connection to branch 1. So the right answer for question number 4 would be A. The IP address is misconfigured on PPP multilink interface on branch 1 router. So here it is. And so thank you for listening, guys. I hope you enjoy and learn something from this.